Okay, so we all basically started. I needed to have a blog, so I needed a way to be able to get out there. I kept hearing about this blog, your central hub, your marketing cornerstone, all this stuff, and I put it off for a couple of years. I'm like, no, I'll just stick to the old school, traditional. It's not working for me, but this is what I know. I'm just going to do it. But I finally made the choice to get it. So a friend in Australia said, I'll set you up with a blog, but you have to go stuff it. You have to go put the pieces in there and things like that. So I went around and I looked at a bunch of blogs online, and ones I liked, and some I didn't like. But I started noticing a big trend of all the new people online was there was no eyeballs. There was nobody home. They would get a great-looking blog. They would have one comment here a month or a couple of retweets or something like that. And it's just kind of like, it's dead. It's a ghost town. And I'm kind of like, so it really raised up more questions than answers. It's kind of like, well, who am I to add value to somebody else? And how are people going to follow me on a blog if I can't follow other people? So I started looking around and I'm like, okay, but I'm just going to do it. So I got my blog started anyway, got the shell of it, needed to take a course. The social media mastery course had just started. I'm like, well, I know pretty much about social media, so I didn't skip that big mistake. I did pick up Katie's Freiling's blogging course. And in there was more, it was all about creating a blog and getting online and all that kind of stuff, but it was about building tribes and getting the value out of a community. That's the part I missed on Jonathan.
But we had met before that.
But up until that time, I came up with an idea of what if we created accountability circles? Because I work better if I have a couple of people that have help me out and I'll help you out kind of thing. So I reached out to about a dozen people and I had an idea of creating a syndication accountability circles. So let's create 4, 5, 6 people and we'll kind of just make a pact. We'll visit each other's blog and you'll visit mine, I'll visit yours and stuff like that. And so I reached out and out of those first 12 people was John and Carrie. That very same week, talk about some of the stuff you were talking about, they had a homework assignment from Jonathan to go find tribe peoples outside of his community.
Not me though. I was not in Jonathan's.
Carrie was. So Carrie had that.
Yeah, and so I was thinking that you were in the class because you were speaking my language,
right.
And then I found out he was outside the class. I was like, sweet. I had someone approach me with my homework.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to find people outside. And
so he came to you?
He came to me, cool. So I trusted him.
Carrie's thinking I'm done with my homework. But I talked to John, he was like all over it. And I connected with him because of what he was doing on Twitter.
How'd you guys connect?
We connected on Twitter first, yeah.
Right.
And I was watching them.
It was in July or something.
Tweet
like
back
June.
and forth.
Last year?
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah. So we were kind of tweeting back and forth, and Carrie, like he mentioned, was watching us, and he was like, oh, hey, great conversation. So we all just kind of connected on social media. So there I found a couple of people. We brought in a couple other people that wanted, like, the idea of syndication and tribes and accountability. Some people came and went, and Carrie invited Mike and invited Nick and a couple other people. And then we just started to gel a little bit more. It did take a little bit of time, a couple of months. And then we said,
we went through a lot of people, too.
We did go through a lot of
show
people.
commitment and just didn't match the same level of where we were headed, vision-wise.
And the interesting thing is that we all have different skill sets. So we kind of plug into this piece of the puzzle that we couldn't do all this stuff on our own, but it just kind of fits just right. We were just talking about that the other day. The Italian Job. Do you ever see that movie? Or like Ocean's 11? Like one guy is the electrician, one guy's the explosives guy, one guy's the front man, the pretty face or whatever, you know. So it's just kind of
Carrie.
Well, one of you two. So it's really just kind of meshed together with the right exact pieces of the puzzle. Tom Cruise? I don't know if I like that. I'm just teasing. Anyway, so yeah.
But that was it. So we finally decided, we looked at what was happening with us, the traffic, the syndication, how we were getting exposure to our blogs in rapid time, and it really started to attract more people. So came up with an idea of launching a course, and I think John was the first one again that piped up and said, yes, let's do it. And so a couple of months later, we finally got a course outlined and put together. These guys really wanted to jump up and do it. So
that was back in November, December.
Right before Christmas. Not the best time to launch something, but we're like, look, we make a stand, we're going to do it. And we did.
That's cool.
It's all history from there.
And what did you launch? What was your?
It's called Tribe 1.0. And so what we were trying to do is find 25 students that we could help create a story around to help launch their blogs, help show 0 to thousands of page views quickly. And so we launched an intensive which was 3 weeks with 6 modules. So we were doing 2 2-hour webinars a week and Q&A sessions just to get the content to them, and also recorded, because now we're able to use that content to market with and actually give free product value. So after that, then we had these 25 super affiliates in place. We'd already educated them. We'd already gotten them excited. We gave them basically a position of a 50% commission to help us launch Tribe 2.0, which was a higher ticket item than what we allowed them to come in at. And from that, we've expanded our training. We've learned a lot in the process, so it's kind of a tier 2, more advanced training.
But one of the most exciting things that goes back to what you said, go ahead, is the teacher. You're not the teacher until your students start surpassing you. It's really exciting to see people that have struggled for a long time to try, and, including myself, to do certain things online, and then all of a sudden they get this one concept and they just, it's so exciting to see those people. That's the most rewarding point for me personally.
So the product is taking someone who and teaching them how to use social media to whatever product they're selling or whatever they're passionate about.
Whatever their product is or whatever they're passionate about. It could be a charity.
Now, do you guys take on products yourselves, or your product is training?
Yeah. Well, we have the training. We have services that we are also in development around right now. Along with, we have other income streams also as affiliates, as network marketers that are kind of attached to our blogs. And so as we get thousands and thousands of page views and traffic through our blogs and people crawling through all of our information because of the content and strategies we use, then we have a lot of people knocking on our door and asking us how can they join. What we're doing
That's
too.
good.
I mean, one of the cool things that I like to see from what we did was that after we did our Tribe 1.0 course, and we gave a few weeks after that, we started getting comments from our students and actually videos from our students saying, "Hey, what you guys have taught us worked. I mean, what you guys have taught us has worked." And I am now getting 200 page views a day on my blog. I am now able to actually teach, go out and teach people and mentor people, the same concepts that you're teaching. So it wasn't really for me. I mean, we didn't charge that much for our first course because it was our first course. We wanted to make sure that everything that we did, we did right. But it was our first product wasn't about the money. It was about making sure that our system that we're teaching works and that people are going to be using it and going out and actually duplicating what we're doing. And we now have that proof that what we're teaching actually works. And and we're seeing a lot of happy students.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So now what we're looking at is the continuation of that story. So our Tribe 1.0 and our Tribe 2.0 was like a 1-2 punch. We brought in a few people, made them super affiliates, give them all the basics and foundations, raise them up, and then helped us to launch 2.0, which was another mastermind intensive, which we are currently halfway through right now. So that was great. But now we've all come together for the first time worldwide. I mean, we're from all over the world. We're meeting here, meeting people like you guys to find out how can we further exactly. How can we further this exposure? What is next? Well, joint ventures, different options, different programs, different joint opportunities. So now we can add this onto our plate and to show people how to create joint venture products and all kinds of stuff. So,
I mean, this is what's really cool. Just think about this. Ken's from California. Nick's from Michigan, Carrie's from Oregon, I'm from Delaware, John's from Sweden, and Eric, who's not with us, is from New York. We all actually formed an LLC, a real company, before we even met each other in person. That's just a cool thing. And then this week, yesterday was the first time we met each other face to face.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We're only 10 years into the 21st century.
Right.
Wow.
right.
Yeah, who would have thought social media before business? If we made money, I mean, we're able to say we made $25,000 in a week based on what we worked on for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And now we can go show other people to do that, and this is our next story. So we're just writing our next chapter. So
It's wonderful.
pretty phenomenal.
So we need to change gears and hear how, going back to the original,
Should we,
how, you know, did you, I guess my original question was, what brought you to, you know, your philosophy? And where you
Oh,
go.
my.
should we do that at my house? Because we're going to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Because we'll give you guys some great food.
Yes.
room for some dessert this afternoon?
At my house.
At your house?